D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So today we are going to be, I'm joined by my twin brother, Marlon. Marlon, say hi.
What's up, nerds?
So we are going to be breaking down the penultimate episode, episode 5 of season 6 of the Expanse. Sorry. And we're just going to sit and chat about it, give you our takes on it and everything. Marlon, just to start off, overall, what did you think about this episode?
I gave it a 6.
Oh, gotcha. I thought it was pretty good. I just I didn't read the books, but I just as a non-reader of the books, I just feels like there's so much more story and there's not any more time to wrap it all up. Like, I feel like I'm so afraid that they're just going to wrap everything up like so fast in this last episode that I'm just gonna be like, huh? Like, I did not appreciate that. I wish you guys would have spent some more time with this season.
Yeah.
In saying though, can I just let me say one more last thing? In saying that though, I did like this episode in the sense that a lot did happen to progress the story along. It just I just think overall this season so far, there's just not been enough to progress it to the point where I'm afraid they might do it perfectly because this is the best science fiction show on TV. I will die on this hill. So, but anyways, what were you going to say? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're fine. Yeah, the show is great. It's the greatest sci-fi show created yet.
Yeah. It's and I love and I was talking about Babylon 5 last night with the wife, and I'm all like, I love Babylon 5, but I love this show way more.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
I totally agree. Like,
same thing with Star Trek.
Yeah, Star Trek, Star Wars, Star Wars just now started having shows, but in history, this is the greatest sci-fi show.
Yeah,
and I can make great arguments. People have tried to argue with me before, and I can shut it down. The problem I'm having with episodes like this in this season so far is we're getting a really shorter season, and they said they needed the budget. I'm trying to figure out where this budget went per episode, because we're not getting over exaggerated space stuff where CGI has to come in, and we're not getting I don't see a whole lot of cast that would cost per episode this kind of money. So I'm trying to figure out where the money went, and because the episodes aren't particularly longer than the other seasons, so I don't know. I'd have to after the next season, or after the last episode, I'll have to break down how many hours each season was. Because if we're not getting longer, more intense episodes, then I feel like we got cheated.
I feel you. All right. Well, in saying that, we'll get started on this breakdown of this episode and everything. Before I get started on this breakdown, I just want to say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine, we just get shoved straight to the back of the line. So I please ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and I thank you in advance. So now that I got that nonsense, all the business taken care of, let's talk about this episode. So it starts off with this girl, Kara. Is it Kara or Clara? Kara. I'm going to call her Kara.
Yeah, Kara.
I didn't write it down, but I saw, I'm not going to lie. I cheated a little bit with this one, and I went and read the wiki on it because I was like, I need to know what's going on with this, because I am like, I just feel like it's a very short story from what I read. I was like, and I'm sorry, but the ending to me is just ridiculous. I was like, why would you put this in here? I do not care now that I know what's happening at the end. So
honestly, I can tell you this. I think honestly, they put this in here to give some fake closure on the proto molecule, because they're not going to really touch on any of it from this book, because in the book it's like the proto molecule really rarely comes up in any huge existence.
Right on. So she is out in the woods because remember last episode, she took the dead body of her brother. And she's all like, I'm going to take him to the dogs. So her family's looking and she's like, "Our baby, we're here," and everything. Well, she finds the dogs, and there's 3 of them this time. Last time there was 2, now there's 3, and they are surrounding her brother. And they all move to the side and everything. And she's like, and her brother, he's got black eyes, black eyes, and his skin's a little like, he was very zombie-esque. Like, I was waiting for her to like hug him and him be like, and everything. I was like, oh, he's gonna eat her and everything. Mm-hmm. But then he was all like, I feel weird. I could hear people talking, but I, couldn't everything. And then one thing that happens is he looks up and he's like, I never saw that before, which I thought was very interesting. Like, that's the thing about it. It's interesting, but I'm just like, if this is all, because if it just, for me personally, I just go, this is a little, I would prefer if you just got back to the main story. Like, this story B is not really doing it for me. Mm-hmm. But it was fine. Like, I'm not like mad about it. I just I'd rather see Holden like and everything and all that stuff. But so he's brought back to life and everything. Yeah, that's all I have to say. I really don't have anything else to say about this scene except for just like,
yeah, I think the only benefit to it, like I said, is they're touching on the proto-molecule to kind of like give a little closure. And I do like that we got the last scene with Admiral Duarte. I really enjoy that. Other than that, this really doesn't do anything for me. Even if I had read the short story, I really feel like this would just not do anything for me as far as the show. They really could have left this out and I would be okay with it.
Right on. So then we move into space and we got some missiles headed towards the ring. I really liked this battle, even though it was very short.
Yeah.
So they shoot some missiles into the ring or whatnot, and or no, they don't shoot. They take out all the ships that are the perimeter outside the ring. Okay, and they contact everybody inside the ring. Oh gosh, Ganymede Station, is that what it's called? What station is this?
It's Medina.
Thank you. Sorry, there's a couple of stations in this one, and I have been looking up the pronunciation all day today, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to screw it up. Anyways, so they're just like, you guys surrender or we're going to attack. And then she's the Admiral. This is Admiral Carino, and she's like, only don't fire the nukes, just the plasma and everything. And so then they get a little bit, start getting taken out and everything because they're which we find out later on what they are, but they get taken out by a rail gun and they take out these ships like hardcore fast, like boom, boom, boom. And then she's all like, all ships pull out, and then boom, they're all gone. And I was like, oh, y'all are stupid. And it was all because of these rail guns, which we'll talk about very shortly. But I remember I don't know if you had said it while we were doing a video or if you had said it to me privately, but you had told me about these rail guns that Marco and Aros had put on this station thingy. Gosh.
It's like that sphere that's in the middle of the slow zone. I can't remember what they call it.
Yeah, I don't remember either, and I didn't write it down because but and I oh gosh, the Rocinante, they have a rail gun, right? That's that thing that they fire, right? Okay.
Yeah, it's fixed to the front of their ship.
Yeah, okay.
I should say the top because there's
right on
or the front, whatever you want.
So then Marco, he's checking out some broadcast from Ipetus station. Oh man,
it doesn't hurt.
Iapetus, that's what it is, or whatever. Anyway, so it's Ipetus station, and it says on here, Anaros loyalists killed, free Navy soldiers killed. Ipetus declares neutrality, and what's her face comes in. Jesus, Matthew, I am all over the place. Gosh, Rosenfeld comes in. Mm-hmm. He's like, they are calling it my war. And she's all like, Ipetus Station is only one station and an insignificant one at that. And he goes on to say, one is all it takes to sow doubt. And then I thought that this was good that Rosenfeld told him, she goes, with 1,300 systems and 100 of colonies under your thumb, as much metal as we can mine and as many shipyards as we can build, anyone who wants access to that will have to ask you. Drummer raided a defenseless supply depot. If she wants to act like that makes her a hero, who cares? And I thought that was I thought it was a good speech because I think Rosenfeld, she really like gets it when it comes to this kind of thing, because Inaros is very emotional a lot of the time. And I feel like Rosenfeld, she's like focusing on the goal when Inaros has, when he's, he's getting a little out of control with his emotions. She's like, hey, reel it in, buddy. Focus on the main goal here.
Yeah, she definitely knows how to not only like the strategic battlefields. She also knows how to play the game as far as like letting people hear what they need to hear at the time they need to hear it. Because it's easy to get wrapped up when you're the leader and you're not grounded in this. But she sees that like if Inaros fails, then I'm on Team Inaros, so we fail together. So she tries to reel it in like, hey, here's the end goal, and here's what he needs to hear to remember that.
Right on. So then she gets the update that they took out the Mars ships, and Marco's all like, what did you think it wouldn't happen and everything? Mm-hmm. And then we hop over to the president. I call her the president, but that's not her title. She's like Madam Secretary or whatever. I can't remember. Anyways, but the president of Earth, she's getting a briefing, and what they've done is they've mounted these guns, these rail guns, onto a titanium exoskeleton being laid right along the surface of this sphere and everything. So it's not actually on it because they can't build it on top of it, but they built a sphere around it, and then they put the rail guns on top of those, which is very smart.
They built little rings.
Yes.
Of titanium around it because you can't penetrate the ring station's metal.
Oh, I can penetrate.
It looks so.
The ring station.
That's what they call it, the ring station.
Oh, I was making a naughty joke.
Okay, I get it. But I think that it looks a lot different on the show than what I pictured when I was reading the books, in my opinion.
Right on. When you had talked to me about it, I had pictured it different. I'm not saying it's a bad visual. I also pictured it a lot different.
No, it looks cool. I'm not complaining. It just in my mind, you because the Rocinante looks way different than what I had pictured in my mind also.
So then after they're done, because the Mars person, she says they've got 6 of them. They only fired with 5. And she said that if they enter in the ring space, then they will be taken out. So their main thing is to get to Marco before he gets to the ring. Because once he gets to the ring, it's going to be impossible to get in there and take him out. So all of these little people are saying they need to get to Marco now. And the president is saying, like, we don't have enough. We're already laid out thin as it is. We're spread out thin. And she's like, we can't send it and everything. And they're like, she's like, plus you're not, are you 100% sure we can, win? And the guy, of course, says no. Well, he doesn't. Yeah. So she's like, I'll give you my answer shortly. So then she's sitting there talking to Bobby, and she's like, have I gone soft? Was I trying too hard to be good when I should have been ruthless? And then Bobby was like, you did the best you could. And she's all like, there's no price for the best victim. I thought that was a really good line. I was like, that's so true. There is no prize for the best victim. I said prize. It's prize for the best victim. I was like, that's a good line. Whoever wrote that line is very good. And then she says, I love how she's like, well, the fight's not over. And she's like, I don't need platitudes. We're fucked. And it's my fault. And I was like, oh, that's so, I love it when people in real life, like, are just blunt and get straight to the point. I don't need all this nonsense going on. Just get to the point and everything. And I love how she's all like, let's do this. But then Bobby's like, she's had enough and everything. She's like, fine. Well, you have gone a bit soft, which might not be so bad in small doses, but now is not the time for self-pity bullshit. It's time to keep your eyes on the enemy and wait for the next time they slip up, because I still think we're the good guys. And I'd rather do a little less soul searching and a lot more fighting back, which I thought that was like, hey, she needed to hear that. And then the president, I love how she's like, go do something else. I was like, that's funny. That's funny. What do you think about this whole scene?
No, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I will say this one thing about these episodes is the dialogue is really good between characters all the time throughout the season. So I do like that. Bobby's finally telling her. Bobby is essentially the Rosenfeld of Avasarala. So she's just telling her, like, look, this is you got to stop questioning everything you do, and you either own it or you don't.
Yeah, no, that's an excellent comparison. So then we hop over to the Rocinante, and Peaches is talking to Holden about reinforcing the hull with carbon silicate latest plating. Gosh, plating. Sorry. I wrote it down a little differently. And he's all like, whatever helps to stop us not get holes in us. And she's all like, you remind me of my father. And he thought that shoot, I'm trying so hard to think right now and nothing's happening. She compared him to his father. That's all I'm going to say. But then he's like, where's Amos? And she's like, oh, he's on the station. I have nothing else to say about this scene. So I'm just going to hop over to the Naomi getting the word from the scientist, the communication from the scientist. And the scientist says that based on the data, it's not clear to me that a significant number of these ships' disappearance were indeed similar to whatever happened to the Barkeith. The ring transit data that my group was able to study, and there was a lot, suggests that there is a massive energy threshold which precedes or perhaps triggers these events, which obviously would have a dire consequences for the future use of the rings. I've embedded our analysis for you to see. And then she's talking to Holden, and she's like, you were right. Anytime anyone goes through the ring, they don't realize they're taking a massive risk. You said that every time you transit, you can feel those entities getting angrier. Do you think they're trying to get out? And he was like, I don't know. And see, this is the thing about that. This part, I was all excited because, like, when they were talking about the protomolecule and those aliens and all that stuff and everything, I'm really excited to know more about this. But like you said, they're not going to touch on the protomolecule that much this season. And I'm all like, but that's what I want to know about.
Yeah, I haven't read the final book of the series yet. I've just been really busy, but I'm interested to see if they address protomolecule stuff in the book as well. Moreover, if you will, because they bring Laconia up, and the last three books are very Laconian drenched, if you will. But yeah, I do want to know more about the protomolecule on even the show. I'd like them to explore certain things, but like I said, the sixth book really didn't touch on the protomolecule that much that I can remember. So
right on. Yeah. So then Naomi, which Naomi has not been in this season that much, and or as much as I would like. I'm very unhappy about that. But they do have Drummer, and she's my second favorite character. So Drummer shows up at series with all that crap that she stole from Marco, or at least a huge chunk of it. And she's on her ship, and she's all like, but this is she has like, this is food and water and fuel. We are just giving it to you. And the guy's all like, you will be scanned or whatever, and we're going to bring our guys on board, and you're going to be checked, and anybody that's like, whatever, we're going to take them into custody. And she's like, your soldiers on my ship? I don't think so. I'm paraphrasing, by the way. And then the president comes on, and she's like, hey, forget all that. Just bring on the supplies. We appreciate it. Just come on board and everything. And then she's all like, centuries of the Innas oppressing us, Marco was inevitable. A Marco and Aros was bound to happen and everything. She's like, that's an interesting perspective. I'd love to talk to you about it in person. Do you think you can make the time? And she's like, I'm not here for you. I'm just here to drop off these supplies. as soon as they're done, we're gone, and there won't be any problems while we're on the station. I did like this interaction between them two, and then later on when they do it again, which we will talk about when we get at the very end when we get to it. But I did like this interaction between these two ladies. What'd you think?
Yeah, it's great. Like I said, Drummer also, we do share the opinion. She's my second favorite character.
I love her.
I like Kargi's portrayal of her. So it's really good. I think yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about it. I mean, you touched on it.
Yeah. Speaking of, go ahead. Sorry.
No, it was just a good scene.
Yeah. Speaking of Kargi, I follow her on Twitter, and I love her Twitter feed. She's great. She's great. All right. So then we go back to the Free Navy and Marco Naris' ship, and they everybody on the crew, including Philip, they get the thing that they got a victory at the ring. And so he heads off to go to talk to gosh, what is his name? Tohiep. Hold on, I wrote it down. His name. Oh, maybe I didn't write it down. Anyways, Tadito, and Tadito has been thrown in the brig. So he leaves and he goes straight to the brig, and he's like, "Why are you in here?" And he's all like, I broke comms because we weren't supposed to communicate, and I sent out a message to my brother because I really needed to know about him. And he's like, you could have given away our position. He's like, I'm sorry. He's like, I'm just really broken up about it. I need to know what's happened to my brother. Totally understandable. Mm-hmm. So then we head back over to Drummer ship, and the doctor is checking out Joseph.
Called the Tynan.
Yes, the Tynan. Sorry, I should have said that. I didn't write it down, but yes, it's
okay.
It's called the Tynan. And Joseph they put on that little gel to give him a new arm, and he's got a creepy baby arm. It creeped me out. I don't like it.
I could not stop laughing. It reminded me of Deadpool when he's got the baby hand and he's like touching himself.
See, that makes me laugh, but this did not make me laugh. I was very creeped out by it. I was like, oh, it don't even look like a hand. Like, it's all like, I don't know. Anyways, so long story short with this, he said the arm will come off and they're going to give him a prosthetic. And he said the arm will come off quick, but the bad tissue must be rooted out, and all invasive nerve fiber be killed, and then must fit and integrated, and it must be fit and integrated with the prosthetics. But even new normal times, it will take weeks, and this is not normal times, so it'll take even longer. Mm-hmm. And I'm all like, bummer. That's a bummer. And then Drummer gets a communication from Naomi saying, hey, I miss you. We should get together while you're here in person because we haven't seen each other in a long time in person. Tell me when you got some free time. Mm-hmm. Then we go over to Ava Sarala, and she is talking to Monica. And she talks about how she's like, I got some information about from Ganymede. From a scientist on Ganymede. It's not a spy, a regular man, a botanist. He risked his life and family to send us experimental biotech simply because he believed it could help restore Earth's ability to grow food. And Monica's like, that's great and everything. And then, there's that. And then Holden shows up. And Monica's all like, we should do another interview. And he's all like, never, ever again. Which I was like, yeah, don't give her an interview. She screwed you last time. Made you look bad. So Holden comes in. He's all like, thanks for seeing me so quickly. And he tells her that that about the ring transit. And he thinks that they need to share this information with Marco and Naros. And she's all like, you're kidding me. He's all like, I'm not going to tell him. What do you think? We're just going to stop everything and be buddy just to fix all of this? I know that was very good. What did you think about all this? Sorry, I'm just talking and I'm not letting you.
No. You're not saying anything. I mean, there's not a whole lot to expound on in some of these scenes, but no, you're not wrong. Yeah, Holden's always like the good guy. Like he definitely has a moral conscience. So he's always just trying to think of the path less taken, because it's easy to just destroy your enemy. But it's kind of like, if the boat's sinking, do you hand out buckets, or do you just use you keep all the buckets yourself because they're yours? And everybody on the boat's going to go down if you don't get enough water off.
Right on. So then she shows him the rail guns on the thing and everything, and then he's like, why did you see me so fast? Like, what do you need and everything? And she's like, she wants to talk to a drummer, and she's like, I need an ally with ships and guns who is respected by her own kind to fight at our side amongst Inaros. We need drummer's strength. We've lost more ships than we could afford. Not long ago, Drummer was a fugitive with one ship. She came to Ceres with 8, stubbed with missiles and guns. Belters trust her. Some will flock to her, and some will something about the Free Navy. I will abandon the Free Navy. Sorry. That could make all the difference. And I mean, like, she's right, but this is just a very long way to go around getting a meeting with Naomi. Yeah. Anything you want to say about that?
No, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Like, it's just, she needs an ally in the belt.
Right on. So then we get over to Amos, and he's, drinking it up, and I
will say this though. What I did like about that scene is when she talked about how she had changed.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I didn't write that down. Go ahead.
She had mentioned how she wasn't the person she used to be. And if you go back to see, she talks about the guy she tortured in season 1. She had put him on hooks to torture him for information. And, she's not so sure that she would do that now. And she knows that the Belters see her as Avasarala of the past, and they're it's hard to change people's opinions. So I really liked that part of her, just coming, essentially just admitting she had changed, and she understood why people weren't seeing the different her.
Right on. Yeah, no. Thank you for mentioning that. I didn't write it down, but I did want to talk about it, but thank you for bringing it up. All right. So then Amos and Bobby, they're talking. She's all like, you're just drinking and fucking, huh? And he's like, yeah, until they run out of one or the other and everything. I was like, that's funny. So then, so one thing that, cause he tells her about how Holden stopped the missile from taking out Inaros, and she just laughs. And he talks about how he's always been able to get behind what he's done, but this time he doesn't know, and he doesn't know if he's going to go back to the ship. And he's all like, how war is not a place for good men. And then Bobby says, where is the wrong place for good men? Good or bad, it's the same place for everyone. Firing line, drop ship, sitting on a crash couch, wondering if you'll live long enough to unstrap. And then he says, then what's the difference? What's the difference? Does it make if you're good or bad then? She says, well, when you're in the shit, not much. But I mean, I fought for my planet. I fought for money. I was a time I would have said I fought for honor. In the end, the only thing that matters is fighting for ones covering your flank. It doesn't matter if they're saints or assholes. They're your people. They watch your back, and he watches yours, and you've got nothing. Or you've got nothing. Sorry, I read that last part wrong. And I thought that was a pretty good line. That just like, again, good writing. The writers on the show are very good. And then he says, he's like, all right. She's like, are you going back to the ship? And he's like, yeah. And then he's all like, you coming with? And, oh no, he's like, brothel first. He's like, you want to come with? And she's like, with you or with you? And he's like, And, which means
he replies, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Which I was like, I wonder which path she chose. Did she go with him to the brothel, or did she go with him? I mean, is she going to go with him to the ship and everything?
Well, if she goes to the brothel, then it's both.
Yeah, it is. So then we hop over to Drummer in the medical thing, the doctor that he saw earlier, his little clinic or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, that's the hard part or whatnot. And I thought the guy that plays Joseph did a good job here, because he cries, like he sheds a couple of tears. And I thought that, by the way, it's played by Samer Salim or Salem. And I thought he did a good job because he didn't like full on break down ugly cry, but you could tell he was sad because he knew he wouldn't be able to help anymore. And then Michio, is that how you say her name? It doesn't matter. Michio, thank you. I am so bad with these names. Anyways,
I mean, honestly, it really doesn't matter. Like how you pronounce it in your own mind, it really doesn't matter, because when you're like, if you're reading the books, you would have never known how certain people pronounce it. I would assume because the two guys that write the book are writers on the show, that they're pronouncing it correctly, or at least their version of correctly. But when you're reading the book, you might read that differently. Just like I don't correct you, you keep calling him Joseph, but it's Joseph.
Oh, right on. It is Joseph. I do keep calling him Joseph.
But
anyways,
it's like that little detail doesn't matter.
Right on. So then she basically says that they're basically going to just stay on the station from this point forward. And Drummer says at the end, before she leaves, she says to Joseph and Machio. She says, I never loved you because you were fighters. I loved you because you were builders. I wanted us to build something together. And I thought that was really touching because, Drummer didn't do this to get into a big war, but, she got pulled into it and she's like, all right, let's do this, punks. And of course I love Drummer.
Mm-hmm.
So then she leaves. And then we get some celebrating on the ship, Marco Nara's ship. And he's talking to Rosenfeld and he's all like, we have more ship. They've got bigger ships, but we have more ships. So we dictate what's going on. And she's like, is that good? And he's like, it is good. And then she's all like, because she sees that he hasn't drank anything of the alcohol that they busted out, the special alcohol.
The Earther brandy.
Yes. And she goes, were you and your father close? And he's like, I never knew my father. And she's like, so you improved on the role. And he said, he says something I don't know and everything. And so she's like, I want to show you something. And she shows the speech that Philip gave in the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
And, this, I liked it a lot because the guy that plays Marco Naros, the actor, is Keenan Alexander. I think it's Kian. Anyways, the whole time in this thing, if you watch his face, it's so slight, but he does this little, like, it's not even like a smirk. It's like he wants to smile, but he's not smiling, and he's not like smirking, but you like, I don't know. At least that's what I thought. And I was like, it's very good. The actor is very good. I hope everybody on this show gets more work after this, like tons of work, because they're all very good actors.
For sure.
Yeah. And so then Philip goes and he then uses his privilege on the ship because he has access to stuff that Toeb, gosh, what is his name? Shoot, I wrote it down. Tobito, thank you. Does not have. And he goes to him and he says, listen, I used it and I found out your brother died on the docks when the water tanks were blown. And he starts breaking down. He's like, I killed him. And he's like, no, you didn't. He's like, I set the charges on the docks, on the water tanks. And he said, no belters would get hurt. And he starts crying. And Philip, he gets a little water-eyed in there too. And that is super sad because you're all like, he trusted Marco and listened to him. And now his only family is gone.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was sad.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to say about that?
No, I mean, it's the price of war. I mean, you go to war, good people die, bad people die. And right so on. I think, honestly, it was incredibly naive to think that no belter would be harmed during a bomb.
Right. But... Yeah. During an explosion. So then we hop back over to series, and Drummer is standing in line to go through processing or whatnot. And a soldier comes out and he's all like, you can just go through, you're Drummer. And she's like, I'll wait my turn. And then this guy behind her is all like, listen, you got things to do. Don't sit here and wait. So she goes through, and the one lady from the station, I can't remember her name, and I didn't write it down. The
Nico
governor,
Sandrani.
Sindrani, thank you. She's like, how do you feel being the lap? And then she like does like the camera recording. So like, how to feel like being the lapdog of the earthers, the inners, and everything. And she just like ignores her or whatnot. She gets back to her ship, the Tynan, and Naomi's there. And she's like, hey, it's so good to see you and everything. And they go onto the ship, and she's like, this is a good ship. And she's like, this is your ship and everything. She's like, I'd love to meet your family. And she's all like, you know, the guy and the girl left, you know, because once we separated from Marco, the one guy was spaced, and then those two, the Joseph and Machio, they they're staying on the station. She's like, I'm sorry. So then they have like a little tat-a-tat, but drummer.
No, one thing real quick, one thing that she said that I thought was really important is she said that she said something like that Michio, she decided that they were going to stay on series, so they didn't keep paying for her choices.
Yeah. And then Naomi's says something like, do you think your loss is bigger than mine? And she's like, that's not what I'm saying, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then they get into like a little spat, and they say some really good stuff right here. Like, okay, so drummer goes, you come to me running errands for the inners. How do you do it? Work for them, live with them, pick their side against your own over and over. Ava Sarala and her inners are no better. And then she says, so what is it? Because she goes, so what is it for me? I can choose to wait for the bounty to go high enough that someone kills me, or I can put a collar on my neck and hand the inners the leash. The universe has no place for me. I thought that was a very good line. And then Naomi goes, I wish there were another way. I tried to find one, but there isn't. And then drummer goes, then we have to make one. And then Naomi asks her, tell me how, tell me, and will it help? And we will help. Sorry. And then drummer goes, I don't know. And then she goes, then all we can do now is to stand by the people that we love. What else is there? And then drummer is just like, she goes, fuck you, you self-righteous shit. Fuck you. And they hug. It was very emotional. I was all like, oh, drummer, I love you so much. I wish that you didn't have all this stuff going on. Like you could just go back to the way things were.
Mm-hmm.
So she comes to her because Ava Sarala wants a meet and greet. And so the next thing we get is Ava Sarala walking through the station. Now, I want to talk about something real quick before we get into talking about their conversation at this very end. The costume designer, Joanne Hansen, is fantastic on this show. Ava Sarala is always looking boss. And this last outfit she was wearing, so boss bitch, that I was just like, she looks fantastic. And I was like, I look up to the costume designer as soon as I saw this outfit. And I was like, you know, Ava Sarala from season 1 to now has always looked fantastic. And kudos to the costume designer, Joanne Hansen. She has done a very, very good job this entire show. I'm super happy about it. And yeah.
I only have one critique for her, though. I hope she did not design the UN armor plate. It literally looks like just like pieces of plating glued to a vest, and then they just put that on. It looks ridiculously stupid.
Gotcha. Right on. Okay. So then Ava Sarala and drummer, they have a little convo here because they meet up. It's in front of everybody. Monica's recording the whole thing. And Ava Sarala goes, and here I am. And then drummer is all like, I didn't really believe that you would leave your ship. And then would you have come to me? Your security detail doesn't seem to be happy about it. They don't appreciate the value of a symbol as much as I do. Then this is just symbolism. I hope not. I hope it's a way forward for both of us. And then she says, hold on. And then she says, oh, sorry, I missed my spot. Okay. She said, the system is filled with the graves of belters who trusted inners. And then Avasarala says, and my planet is now covered with the bodies of people who paid the price for that. Why are you here? Speak plainly. Marco will get many more Belters killed before this ends. You know that. So are you here to save us? I'm here because you can help me win this war. The sooner it's done, if you were I don't know what I wrote down something. I was using when the last shot's fired, when Marco is dead, will you remember us? Will you remember the Belters who bled for your victory? And then she says, all I can do is promise that I will. I have given your people many reasons to hate me, but none to think that I am a liar. Belters fighting alongside inners against Belters. I never thought I would live to see that. Neither did I. My people will not take orders from you. And then she says, I don't expect them to. And then they shake hands. And I was like, oh, shit is about to go down. So again, and that's where the show, the episode ends. Now, I have never read the books, like I've said before. Is there a big all-out dogfight in the end? Because that's what Daddy wants to see. I want to see that dogfight at the end. Do we get that at the end, Marlon?
Yeah, there should be definite fighting.
But if the last episode is an hour and 8 minutes long, Daddy wants at least 45 minutes of fighting, of spaceship fighting.
I can't promise anything because I would have thought because they wanted a bigger budget for this last season that there would be more just like fillers of little scraps between, the Free Navy and Earth, or something cooler, in my opinion. Like after they destroyed the Azure Dragon, I thought maybe they'd throw in like a little, ship battle here or something that we can just go, oh yeah, that was so visually pleasing. But they didn't. So I want to say yes, we're gonna get a sweet battle scene. Something cool happens. I don't know if I want to be too spoilery for the next episode, but I can tell you later.
Right on.
And it has stuff to do with what Naomi and the doctor on Phyllis were discussing about the gates and stuff.
Right.
So
yeah, I'm quite excited to see the final episode of this series. I have to say, I'm really bummed that this show is going away. I know that we've talked about, like, going forward, like there's talks of movies, and they're waiting for the actors to get older because there's a 30-year time jump. But I have to be honest, I don't care. Like, you could do this. You could just have these people come back next year and be the same young, refreshed people that they are. And I would believe you that they were 30 years older. I would just go with it.
There's so many things you can do to an actor, and it doesn't even take a lot of money to make them look older. Not to going into things, but I cosplay, or I built costumes for people. If you want older looking skin, you can put Elmer's glue on top of your skin and let it dry. It looks like you have it accentuates all the wrinkles you already do have, and you can make it look like you have a shit more wrinkles. I've dyed my beard white just using that like snow stuff you spray on windows. You could just spray that on your beard and comb it in, and it stays for a couple of hours.
Right on.
It can make people look older. But I have this inkling that this is not the end of the Expanse.
I hope not, because I really
the writers just said, they didn't say it was canceled. They said they were taking a pause, which makes me feel like either A, they're lying to us, or B, they know something that we may or may not know. So,
well, I don't want to pause. Okay, I want it now.
I agree. I want it now.
I know that's so overall. This was a good episode. Again, I just have concerns with the very last episode, that it's just going to be just so much. They just wrap it up like that. And I'm just gonna be like that. Oh, that's it. You're not gonna wrap it up better than that. That's my fear that that's what they're gonna do. And I hope that they don't do it.
Yeah, me too. I hope that this is not it. The
Right
end.
on. All right. Well, I don't have anything else to say. Marlon, do you have anything else to say?
No, I do not.
All right, you guys, that is our breakdown of this episode. Next week, we will be doing a final episode breakdown. And then we also do a series review of the Expanse and everything. We'll be joined with another guest and everything. Tell me, what did you guys think about this episode? Did you like this episode? Did you not like this episode? What was your favorite part? Who's your favorite character? You can go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit the like button. You know, I won't mind. Marlon, you won't mind?
I won't mind.
Damn straight you won't. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. We will see you guys next week on our Expanse breakdown and review. You guys have a good week. Bye.